Om Om Sadashivasamarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidyushavahiti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are in 17th chapter. The chapter started with Arjuna Vacha with a question from Arjuna. So the question was, E Sastram Vidhim Uchurya Yajante Sradhyanvitaha Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna Sattvamaham Rajastama. So the basic question was that the person who is endowed with Shraddha. So that means the person is having full of Shraddha, but does not know the system of, let us say, puja or yajna or action karma. So when the person does not know the system, because as we have been highlighting here, that the person who is scripturally illiterate, but at the same time the person is having full of Shraddha which cannot be questioned. So how do you look at that person? The action that he does, the puja including that he does or she does, does it come under Sattva, Raja or Tamas? Of course, Lord Krishna very carefully answered, hey, look, this is not the way of asking the question, because I cannot answer you, oh, look, this is Sattva or this is Raja, this is Tamas. No, because always it depends upon the mind of a person. If the person follows the Shastra and having Shraddha, then definitely we can say, yes, it is Sattva. Whereas when Shastra does not come, only the person is having Shraddha does. Now we have to look at many factors. And that we also discussed in the last class. So that the factors would be what? First is we need to see the object of worship. Then we need to see the mode of worship. And finally, we see the motives behind worship. So these three put together will determine that whether the Shraddha and without Shastra, whether it is Sattva Pradhana, Raja Pradhana or Tamo Pradhana. Clear? Now, let us say, when we say mode of worship, okay, already he started talking about the object of worship in the verse number 4 that we saw, that was being talked, that we saw in last class. Yajante sattvika deva yaksharaksham rajasaha pretan bhutagananschani yajante tamasa janaha. So this object of worship that we saw, the verse number 4, that sattvic people worships gods, whereas Rajasic people worship Yaksha and Rakshas, whereas Tamasic people worship Bhutas and Pretas. Now, when this is being done, then you may ask the question, okay, what do you mean by this mode of worship? Can you, instead of going in details, can you tell me a little bit quickly? It's very simple. When you say mode of worship, not only with reference to mantra and other things that we saw in the last class, but in a brief way to explain is, when a person does puja internally and for one's own growth, of course in a systematic way, that is called sattvic puja. Whereas the person who does only with the loudspeaker, making lot of noise, okay? Do not making my presence visible. And especially now, Navaratri is coming. So if you go, especially come to Odisha, very nice to see. Actually, Navaratri, especially Durga Puja celebration, because each part of country has got its own celebration. Like Ganesh Puja is famous in Maharashtra. So Durga Puja actually, let us say, mainly started in Kolkata. So this east part of India, Kolkata did Durga Puja. It's very nice to see Kolkata. Uh, but what happened is some because that time Bengal and Odisha was one. There was no difference at all because they tried to suppress Odisha. That's another history. Let us not get into. So some of the Bengalis they came, and especially in Cuttack. So they stayed there, and they also started doing Durga Puja. And you'll be surprised to know now. Now Cuttack Durga Puja is much better than Kolkata Durga Puja. And of course, it is not being famous. If you want to see the richness in Durga Puja, this is what point I want to highlight. If you want to really see the richness in Durga Puja, go to Cuttack. Whereas in Kolkata, it's poverty. So when I say richness means, the mandapam is made up of, silver and gold. In fact, government will say, we cannot give you protection. You do insurance, you take care of yourself. We are not part of it. But how many mandapas they can take care? One or two they can take care. They cannot take care of everybody. So here, this puja, that Durga Puja, this is my point to highlight, nothing else, okay? Who is good, who is bad, that's none of our business. That this Durga Puja, it is done, it's called Rajas, okay? To show up. And the way they do it, there is nothing, no focus, nothing. Only focusing on what? My mandapam must be better than other mandapam. You understand? My puja must be better than other people puja. So there is a contest, okay? You cannot think of what they go through, what they do not go through. But at least they are doing something. So this is called Rajasic puja. Whereas when you look at Tamasic puja, so Tamasic puja means can be done in two ways. Can be done silently, also can be done loudly to have power and position to destroy or take revenge of others. See, for example, on new moon days especially, many tantric people do puja in the midnight, that too in cremation ground. And it will be very silent. They don't disturb anybody. But what is the purpose? Purpose is to have power so that either they take directly revenge or you can pay them so that they will do for you. So it's amazing concept. All are possible. Or you make the lot of noise, like I remember one ashram, okay? So what that ashram do is very unfortunate. They will put the loudspeaker. And all songs, no suras, nothing. Okay, at least nothing wrong in it. 1 or 2 hours you can do it. No, night 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. And other ashrams got really affected. And they had to close because that other Swamis they said, okay, enough. And if you say anything, let us go to the court fight with the local people, gundas, mafias. Now tell me, that ashram, is it like Rajasic? Cannot be Rajasic, it will be Tamasic. Because if I put a loudspeaker for my bhajan or for my puja to disturb others purposefully, please understand this is okay. Once in a while, occasionally I do it, it's different. Like it's all the mass. Have loudspeaker. For what? Illegally, legally, even if it is legally, they increase the volume. So what is the purpose? That my presence must be there. I am there. I don't care what happens to others. So you can see for yourself also, whenever you do puja, this is I gave you example in a broader sense. Sattvic puja I gave you, Rajasic puja, Tamasic puja. Now you can see for yourself whether your puja, is it sattvic, is it rajasic, or is it tamasic? So because there are various ways to look at your own puja. Let me not get into too much, okay? That's why let us read the next verse so that it becomes easier. Verse number 5. Asastra vihitam ghoram tapyante ye tapojana dambhankara sanyukta kamaraga balanmita. Says, look, especially verse number 5 and 6, both will be talked about this rajasic and tamasic form of worship. So that means we need to see this both mode and motive behind it. So first is highlighting asastra vihitam. So that means definitely when they do any puja, so it involves violation of shastric injunction. Because, like for example, say I'm taking ashram. No ashram should put loudspeaker to disturb others. Don't have right. So if you want to have your small box for yourself, nothing wrong in it. That too, night 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It's not allowed. What is happening in ashram? Why should you announce everybody? That means something you are sick, you understand? So that means what? It is asastra vihitam. So one side you say, I don't want to disturb anybody. I am a Swami. I do abhay pradana. Nobody should be afraid. But you disturb others' sleep. So this is called asastra vihitam. And at the same time, ghoram. So when I say ghoram, that means what? It's a very terrible, horrible, even if frightening to hear. And you might have seen also, especially in Tamil Nadu, Odisha also I saw, south part of Odisha, same thing. Of course, here also I see differently. In Kumbh you can see all the funny people. Especially one group of people in Tamil Nadu, they do pierce their body. You cannot look at, you cannot think of. Sometimes in the crane, they will be lifted. You understand? I see some videos. Piercing the tongue, nose, body, hand, this, that. Because when you see them, you get frightened. I'm sorry to say. What a pain they go through, don't ask. And they enjoy. It's not one time. They do regularly. Their family also they do. It is a family hereditary, I cannot say problem, is their custom, okay? If they listen to me, they will say, oh, God knows. Thank God they are Hindus. If it is Muslim, they will say fatwa. Okay, let us, issue one fatwa. So thank God they are Hindus, so I can handle, I can manage. Okay, at least I can say, hey, look, I don't mean this. Okay. So what I'm highlighting here is ghoram. That's why all these rakshasas, when they do austerity, they get into this ghora tapas mode. Means terrible, one leg standing, and they will make, either the two people only, either Shiva or Brahma helpless. And these two don't have any other choice. Okay, tathastu. And before they say tathastu, this fellow has got a list, okay? What are the things to ask? This Rama, Ravana, all this. Sorry, not Rama, sorry, made a mistake. Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Durgasura, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Suddenly Rama came. I don't know why. Okay. So all these people have a list how to encast the bull. But while encasting the bull, there will be some mistake somewhere, finally what happens. So why this happens? He says beautifully, because of dambha ahankara sanyukta. So because of what they want, because of their dambha. So dambha means that they are very much pretentious. So they want to play that how strong they are. That means what? They always seek publicity. That's why a Swami, to become a Swami, seeks publicity is dangerous. Seeking publicity is not good at all. That's why we say sometimes to ourselves that out of 3 ashanas. So what are the 3 ashanas? Ashana means desire, okay? Na karmana, na prajaya dhane, na tyage neike amrutattvamanasu. From this it comes, okay? So vitteshana, putreshana, and lokeshana. So all the desire put in one box, and you can only take only 3 out of them. There is no 4. So one is vitta ashana, desire for vitta, the wealth. That is very easy to overcome. Especially for a Swami, no problem, because you don't have any expenses, personal expenses you don't have. That's all. It comes, goes, comes, goes. And if it does not come, it will not go. It's better, okay? So Vittashana is not a problem. Second one is called Putrashana. So you understand progeny problem is not a problem, because any disciple will come, will take over you. Don't worry, okay? Whether you are alive or dead makes no difference. Will take over. So that is also taken care. But the third one, this is location. This is the, okay, this vashana to survive after my death. So Swamiji was very good. Swamiji is very nice. Swamiji is very compassionate. Swamiji takes care of it. This vasana is so strong in many Swamijis, you cannot think of. And that's why they practice goody goody. You understand? You should see, because I notice many, they practice. There is no inner happiness at all. And so frustrated, but sound will not come, okay? Anyway, let me not get into too much. So this is called dambha ahankara sanyukta. So that means these people are what? Mainly they tend to display this pretentiousness and egoism. And of course, they practice this ghoram tapas, not ordinary one, which you cannot do it. That's why we say very nicely. See, once in a while, you must do fasting. Not continuously 20 days, 30 days, 40 days fasting. Or 5 days, 10 days. It's wrong. See, I have seen, especially I'm coming from Odisha, I can use this word. This is a wrong thing have been taught from our childhood. It's wrong. Especially, when we do fasting from our childhood, in Odisha, they would say nirjala. So without jalam, without water. There is one day called Nirjala Ekadash. It's wrong. Because this particular thing came, especially on Shivaratri day, different occasions they do it completely without water. It's wrong. I can say it is wrong, and wrong. Why I am highlighting this is wrong? The worst part is, How and where it comes, especially in North India, Ekadashi they will do. They will not eat anything. The moment it becomes evening, they will break Ekadashi. And I see Navaratra here. It's amazing. So they will not say Nijala. It's another level. So all these Pandits, they come for Navaratri. They will say, Swamiji, we would like to have phalahara. So phala means fruits, okay? Ahara means. So first time I knew it, but purposely I wanted to play with them. So no problem. Tell me what fruits you want. Apple, orange, or you want pears, anything you want. Sufficient. And cashew, all these things, nuts, you can have. No. Swami, please don't tell that. We want different cooked food that is called falahar. Not regular food. It's amazing, okay? But once it becomes evening, they won't like to go back to the old food. Means regular food, okay? So where this concept comes, this is what I want to highlight. This is a completely Muslim culture. So in their one particular month, they don't drink water whole day. So what do? I'm not telling you jokes. I have seen this thing I'm telling you. So what they do, before sun rises, they eat up to neck. Restaurants are open for them that particular month. So before sunrise, they eat up to the neck. Then whole day they cannot, they will not. Then once it becomes sunset, again eat up to the neck. So this is called nirjala. So now that concept has come in Hinduism, unfortunately. So these are come under ghoram, asastra vihitam. Nothing else. I'm just highlighting this point very carefully. So we need water. Let me not get into, because if I get into, it will be a big mess. So that's why he says, look, then when this happens, that means these people problem is not for moksha. Whatever they do it, you think they do for moksha? Either it is a custom or to manage sense of guilt. Especially I see in Tirupati and in many temples, many other temples also. So Tirupati is a South Indian temple, very nice. That especially in South India, anybody has got any problem, okay, I'll go to Tirupati. And he's the richest god, growing richest god, now second richest now. So his shares have come down now, okay, gone down. So it's amazing thing to observe. And whatever shares he was having, unfortunately, now the head of the mutt or temple is one Christian fellow. So they have appointed Christians, so to destroy. So that's why the CO, you can say CO is very bad, okay? So the share has gone further down. So let us not get into too much. It's very sad. That when suppose you, let us say you are sick, or your business has gone down, mainly these two categories, okay? I will go to Tirupati. But you could not make it. Somehow you become busy and all these things. Now, 1 year over. Next year, what happens? Suddenly something becomes more problem. Somebody reminds you, hey, in the family, because you have told, you did not go, look, this become worse. Whole family is affected, not only you, whole family is affected. Now what to do? So next year means what? Earlier you used to go by car straight. Now you will not go by car. So you have to keep the car on the hill, on the foothill, then go by walk. Because prayashchitam, no? I'm not telling you jokes. I have checked with many people, okay? And suppose second year you cannot go. Something happens. Third time, what happens? Not only you will go by walk, also you will make sure on the hot sun without chapel you will go round, or without chapel you will go, okay? Without anything. You should see the people, how they go through. And especially in Tiruvannamalai, don't ask me, okay? So the best example, I can pull the leg of our Gautam long back, okay? This fellow, I cannot forget. In summer, so you cannot think of the summer, okay? I don't know what happened to this fellow. Because I had told, okay, you have to better to go in bare feet. In the night you can do, not in the daytime. So he started, I think, late. Hot sun. He jumped in the bare feet. He managed. And after that, what happened? Don't ask me, okay? Anyway, sorry to bring you personally, Gautam here. So here what happens is that one should understand what they do it and why. That's why the next verse says very nicely that karshayantah sarirastham bhutagramam acetasah mam chaivantah sarirastham tan vidhyasura nischayan. Says, look, so these are called acetasah. So these people are called indiscriminative people. Means they don't give importance to the discrimination at all. So that's why karshayantah. So that means they torment their body. Sarirastham bhutagramam, the sense organs in this body. So they torture like anything. So why they torture? I'll be coming to the point later on. Cha ebama. And of course he says, as well as me. Here the Ishvaraha says, not Krishna, as well as me, because I am in them. Antaha sarirastham, who resides in the body. Vidhimam, know them. Asura nischayan, to be asuric conviction. That's why if you see very carefully, one has to be very careful. When a person takes up any sadhana, has to be very careful with reference to sadhana. I remember there was a Swami, world famous. So he thought of staying in Gangotri. And those days, in the winter. And some people said, look, please, Swamiji, this is not for you because already you are becoming old already. So don't stay in winter. No, he was very adamant. No, I want to stay. Who can say? And we were famous those days. So he stayed. And he was not acquainted with this cold and other things. Then this snow bite. So when it happened, then some priest, local, some sadhus, those who were there, because those days very few people stay, they said, Swami, this is the time to go back. Don't. It started, it's not going to heal at all. Finally, army people, because they used to go and they used to inquire who is what. So when they inquired, they said, one Swami is not listening to anybody. Then army people forcefully lifted him through the helicopter. And finally, they had to cut his leg. And really he suffered till his end, he suffered with that. Because this is called stubbornness of your sadhana. You don't look at yourself. You don't look at the situation. So whatever comes to your mind, that you do. So we say the stubbornness in sadhana is not helpful. Like there are many Swamijis, they are very stubborn. They will not eat. But they are called as wise nowadays, okay? Because remember, wisdom has nothing to do with the knowledge nowadays, okay? So wisdom is how much propaganda you do it. Like I remember one Swami, he was the most hated person in that organization. In fact, that's his guru never liked him. But after some time, a group of people joined together. So because of that reason, he became the head of the institution. And they presented, till now is being presented, he's the most lovable, favorable disciple of that guru. It depends upon propaganda. So why I'm highlighting this thing is, karsayantam, you don't have right to torture your body. Because if I torture my body, I have sinned for myself also. When you torture your body, yes, now you are young and strong, you can do it. After few years in your old age, it will come back with interest. And when a person starts torturing the body, so that means what? The person is not sattvic. Ah, Swamiji, that's why I don't do anything. I eat, I don't have anything. So that's why, whenever there is no food, Ekadashi, correct. Whenever there is no food, Ekadashi, whenever there is food, there is Dwadashi. This is how I follow. You understand the concept? When there is no food, that day is Ekadashi. I don't follow Ekadashi. And of course, when there is food, there is Dwadashi. Dwadashi means Parana. You eat properly, okay? A God's sake, that means you are going to be tamas, only tamas and tamas and tamasic, okay? At least be rajasic. I will respect the other one, okay? At least does something. Or that fellow will come in between tamas, rajas and tamas. But if you don't do anything, only tamas, okay? God's sake. That's why the most important thing is that when a person does any puja, the main purpose is what? Moksha. If not moksha, at least my growth. So I need to grow. So we have discussed very carefully that emotional health, then intellectual health. So if I am emotionally healthy, then only I can use my intellect. So the purpose here is what? To make use of this. And if not, don't worry. Lord Krishna is going to say, which we'll see, that as you have seen here puja 3 types, so also ahara, food, yajna, tapa, danam. So all are divided into 3 categories, so that it becomes easier for a person to understand where he or she stands. More of it we'll see. Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Pashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.